Creative friends. This is Mrs. Henry, and it's time for art. Do you like Eric Carle's Hungry Caterpillar? Well, today we're going to be doing some cut paper pictures, just like Eric Carle does in his books. Do you remember last week we talked about texture? Do you remember what it is? You're right. Texture is how something feels. Look at this. Doesn't it feel slimy? I had fun doing texture rubbings last week. Did you have fun? I collected so many different kinds of textures. I have lots of different colors and papers to choose from today. You will definitely need your rubbings from last week's lesson for this week's lesson. If you didn't do last week's, then it's okay. Just go back and do that lesson first before you do this one. It doesn't have to be finished today. The materials you will need for today are white paper, scissors, a glue stick, and you may need crayons or colored pencils if you want to capture some more rubbings. This is Eric Carle, and these are the many books that he has written and illustrated. When Eric Carle does his illustrations, he uses different colored paper that have different textures on the paper. He cuts them to make different shapes of his animals and flowers and clouds, but they are all cut from paper. Here's the very busy spider, one of my favorites. Look at the spider. Do you see all the different shapes that are cut out? The body, the legs, the head, the eyes, the nose, all of those are different pieces of paper. Then Eric Carle put the pieces of paper down on another piece of paper and he arranged them to create a spider. And then he glued them down. And then he drew the web in the background. Here are some flowers that are done with the cut paper technique. Here is some student work that I found pictures of that are done in Eric Carle's style of cut paper. Do you see how each section is cut out and then glued down? And then in some of them, they took their crayons and paints and drew a background. Here are some more examples of illustrations done with cut paper. Today, you are going to need your scissors and paper. That is the main thing that you will need for this lesson. The first thing we do when you do any artwork is you visualize what you want your picture to look like. So look at your white paper and think about what you want to do. Maybe you want to put your paper horizontally, like a landscape, or maybe you want to put it vertically, up and down. I looked at my paper for about 3 minutes, and I visualized a really big sun with some warm colors, and I visualized some big tulips growing toward the sun. Since it's springtime, I was at the park the other day. I saw all these tulips. They were so beautiful. So I like that idea. So that's what I visualize. Now, when you do yours, you don't have to sketch it out on paper. I sketched it out so you could see what I was thinking. The first step that you're going to do after you visualized your picture is you are going to start cutting shapes. I started cutting shapes out and putting them on my paper. After all of your shapes are cut out, you place them where you want them and you can begin to glue them down. You can see in the last picture that I added some grass on the bottom, and I really liked the texture of that red paper, so I cut out a little ladybug and I put that in the corner. This is what my finished picture looks like. You can see that I added some more leaves. I added a cloud, and I added a little snail on the bottom walking toward a ladybug. Now, when you finish, don't throw those beautiful texture rubbings away. Keep them and make more pictures another time. This is going to take you a long time. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. If you do your visualization and you cut your pieces and then you put it away and you come back and you can do the gluing and all of that later. You don't have to do this all in one time. It does take a long time to plan and to get it all down on paper. The most important thing is you have fun doing it. See you later. I hope you had a good